Buenos dias. I guess it'd be buenas tardes. What have you. Good evening. This is my second video today, and you might recognize the shirt that I had on earlier. It's a cool shirt. Starting off with a book that I've recently picked up at Half Price Books. This is High Fidelity. I think the book was first, then the movie came next. But I noticed that John Cusack is on the front, so they must have repackaged the book after the movie came out. But if you haven't seen the movie, High Fidelity, you need to buy it, you need to watch it. I'm sure all you record collectors out there have probably seen it. It's probably one of your favorite movies. It's one of my favorite movies, as far as at least with music and vinyl related. It just says here, there's a lot of quotes in here. It says, excellent, funny first novel. The book, no music snob should be without. So all you music snobs out there, see if you can find it. I was surprised. So anyway, haven't read it yet, but you know. First thing I picked up this weekend, went out to Saturday, went out to some more record stores, some of the usual stops, and about fell over when I found this, LA Guns. And this wasn't at a record store, this was at like a little antique shop in a quaint little area where where one of the other record stores was that we stopped at. So, you know, I don't have this, and I didn't think I'd ever see it. And this is on Vertigo. It's LA Guns' first one, self-titled. So now I need to find Cocked and Loaded, which was their second one. So there's that, and Tracy Guns on there looks really cool. I mean, they're all cool, but that's when Tracy Guns was, I thought, the coolest at that point. And then I found this one here, Autograph. That's the stuff. Used to have this on cassette, like back in the 80s. And there's two singles off this one. That's the stuff and Blondes in Black Cars. Look those videos up on YouTube, and you'll get a little bit of a chuckle out of it. You know, I mean, everyone knows them from the song "Turn Up the Radio." This one my girlfriend had bought for me. She snuck it in her stack because I flipped out when I seen it. The Cure, Standing on the Beach, the singles. This is on my wish list, or was on my wish list, and I was like really super duper in shock when I seen it. This is my first Cure on vinyl. I'd like to get, obviously, as many as I could of theirs. I think the next one that I'm going to try to get is probably, what is it, Disintegration, which is the one with Love Song and Fascination Street on it. You know, I've heard a lot of that album, and what I've heard is really good, but I mean, we're talking about the Cure here, so, you know, if you like any of the classic alternative, as it's referred to sometimes, or even goth for that matter, the Cure is definitely for you. And this one also, it's a new release. I was about floored when I seen it. This is the new Venom, and I hadn't even seen this on cassette. No, I haven't seen it on cassette. I haven't even seen this on CD or anything. So when I seen it on double vinyl, you know, my girlfriend was nice enough to get this for me too. And I'm a big Venom fan. It's Monday, people. I'm tired. So when I seen this, you know, I've red, transparent vinyl. I've got, this is their newest release, and I have think the two or three previous. Let's see, I have one that's called Hell, and one that's called Metal Black, and it seems like I have another one. And then of course I have Black Metal, and I also have Welcome to Hell, but Welcome to Hell I only have on CD. I'd seen that, and for some reason thought I was going to. I don't know why I didn't get it, but you know, that happens a lot. Anyway, this one's called From the Very Depths. It's Venom. Kronos is the only original member of the band, but the other two guys, from what I remember, from what I'm thinking, they've been with the band for quite a while. So I'm really looking forward to listening to that. You know, that's a lot of people would say they were the first black metal band. I actually don't believe that myself, even though one of their most popular albums was entitled Black Metal. I consider them to be more of a thrash band, more than black metal, because I don't really consider black metal to start until like the early 90s, like with late 80s, early 90s, with like Bathory and Dark Throne and some of those bands. But I think Venom was a prototype in a way for that. So anyway, this is one that I'd never seen. This was in Dollar Bin, Nick Gilder. It's an awesome cover there. And this one's called You Know Who You Are. And Nick Gilder was the one that sung Hot Child in the City. It's not on this album. I have that album though. So I like his voice a lot. If you're not familiar with him, I mean, if you're familiar with that song Hot Child in the City, the first time I heard that song as a kid, I thought it was a woman singing. But speaking of women, here's Debbie Gibson, Out of the Blue. I just had to get this. It was in the Dollar Bin. I don't have any Debbie Gibson, so I had to remedy that situation. People say, well, why in the hell would you want a Debbie Gibson record? Well, if you've seen my videos at all, you'll know that nothing's really off limits. So, you know, I know a couple of the songs on here, and it's just the sheer ridiculousness of it. Out of the Blue, I know that song. Only in My Dreams, I know that one. Shake Your Love. See, there's 3 singles on this album, so go from Venom to Debbie Gibson. It's awesome like that. And then this was also in the Dollar Bin. I couldn't believe it. George Harrison. And this one is 33 1/3. I didn't have any George Harrison on vinyl. So what better place to find him than in the Dollar Bin of all things? And I think this is the one that has Cracker Box Palace on it. Yes. Love that song. This was also in the Dollar Bin. Another George Harrison. This is Living in the Material World. So, you know, I was like shocked and amazed to find not one but 2 George Harrisons. And the label here is real interesting. On one side it's got, that's him with look like a Mercedes there. And then the other side, I don't know if that's him though, I guess that's his driver. And the other side has like looks like Hare Krishna artwork there. And I just love the Indian artwork. You know, I showed a recent record store buy that I bought, the Psychedelic India album. I just love that stuff. You know, Ravi Shankar and sitar music. It's so intriguing to me. And then in the sort of the same vein of George Harrison, we got John Lennon, Mind Games. This was also in the Dollar Bin. This is one I've been wanting for a while. I'd like to get some more of his solo stuff because I don't really have that much. It's on the Apple label. I'd like to get really any of his stuff, but Shaved Fish is one that I sort of really wanted. If I see that one, I'll grab it. This is 10 Years After, recorded live. A few videos back, I had shown, I got a 10 Years After live album. It was suggested to me by Eli, and I bought it and liked it really well. So I seen this one, and it's like, this is a totally different record. It's a double album, and it's quite dusty. So, you know, I don't know how many live albums they did, but this one's on Chrysalis Records, and it came out in, I didn't see a year on this one. But, you know, the other one that I listened to was phenomenal. So, this one, Chicago. It's a double album, too. It's Chicago's, I can't read that. What's it called? Here, let's take the record out and look. It's called Transit Authority. And Dave Rico had showed this. He didn't actually show this record, I don't think, but he was playing a track off of it called "I'm the Man," or yeah, I'm a man. I'm the Man is Anthrax. I'm a Man, which is also a cover of who did that originally? Was it the Trogs? No. The Small Faces. I'm not sure who did that originally, but their version is really good. And I listened to that on his video, and I said, wow, that's great. Who is that? And then I looked it up, and that's the album, so I had to get it. So thanks a lot. Then this I didn't actually have. David Lee Roth, Crazy from the Heat EP. I used to have this on cassette. This has Just a Gigolo, California Girls. You know, this is the first thing that, that Dave did when he left Van Halen, and actually was the, from what I understand, one of the reasons. This one actually did not have Janis Joplin Pearl. This was in the dollar bin too at one of the record stores I went to. There was 2 copies of this, and this one was the best out of the 2. My girlfriend is real picky about the condition of records, you know, that before she buys them. You know, if they're scuffed up or scratched up, she won't buy them a lot of times. And I mean, I will usually. I mean, if they're playable. So I let her inspect those 2 and pick the best one out because she's good at that. And there's nothing wrong with being picky about your records. You know, if you're spending your money on your records, you want to get them the way you want. I like them. I like the brand new reissues, 180 gram. You know, I'm all for those, and I like the used copies. You know, that are quite worn. So I can go either way. This one I was surprised to see. This is the Muffs, and this was in the dollar bin. And I thought that someone showed this recently, and I thought that the one they showed was a reissue. And I was thinking this was like a new band, but I have to check into it. But anyone out there familiar with them? It says it was recorded and mixed in Cincinnati. So I'm not sure about that, but I want to check it out. Then I also got this was in the dollar bin, Wolf Creek Pass, C.W. McCall. I have a couple of his, but this one was one that I'd never seen. So, and Wolf Creek Pass I have that song on a CD compilation. That's the only one I recognize on here. But he's sort of like a storyteller guy. He's the one that did Convoy back in the 70s, if anyone remembers that song. Then we have, I'm assuming a group called Tomita, the Bermuda Triangle. And this is Moog music for the most part, electronic music. It just looked really super interesting. So, you know, I love instrumental music and I love avant-garde and electronic. So whatever it might be, I'm sure I'll like it. And this is on RCA, the Red Seal. And then here's another one, same group or singer, Tomita. This one's Planets, Holt's the Planets, which I had to have this one just because, you know. Wagner, I think it was Wagner that did Holt's, or it was Holt's, what am I talking about? Holt's did the Planets originally, and I think it's Mars on here that Black Sabbath used in the very first few bars of their title track, Black Sabbath. So classical music was responsible for heavy metal, if you want to look at it like that. This one someone showed recently on the VC, and I commented about how awesomely cool it looked because I'd never seen it. It's called Improvisations, West Meets East, and this is album 3. What caught my eye was Ravi Shankar was on it, and Yehudi Menuhin and Jean-Pierre Rampal. I listened to this a little while ago, and it's really excellent. You know, it has sitar, and I think, let me correct here, make sure I'm saying this right. It's let's see, it's got sitar, violin, harp, tabla, and flute. So there's 5 players on here. There were several of these records. I would have just bought them all, you know, if I had the money to buy them, because there was quite a few with Ravi Shankar. This one as well, I'd never seen, this Santana. It's an awesome cover there. Santana with Buddy Miles in the back. I'd never even heard of this. And I like Buddy Miles and Santana, so the collaboration, I'm just wondering if these were all from the same collection or not. I mean, I always wonder that, you know, someone brought in their collection. This is, and this is a live album as well. So this ought to be really, really interesting. And it came with this, Energy for the Universe from the Center of a Volcano. That's the name of the album, I suppose. So that's very, very cool. You know, to see stuff that I've never seen or heard of before. I mean, even on watching VC videos all the time and never have seen it. So that's pretty awesome. So that's all my finds from this past weekend. Found quite a few goodies, some really unexpected things to find. As usual, you never know what you'll find out in the wild. So thanks for checking out my video and my new subscribers, and hope everyone has a good week. Today's the first day of the week, so we've got a long one coming up. Hopefully it'll go quick and we can go out and do some more vinyl shopping. So until then, see ya.